Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back for another video. It's that time again to do our Week 3 college football breakdowns and predictions. We're going to go over all of our top 25 matches. We're going to break them down as quickly as possible. The goal is to wrap this video up as quick as we can for you guys that are on a time crunch. We're going to give our predictions, who's going to win, lose, what the final score might be, and we'll be looking at our best bets, the money lines, the spreads, the over-unders. First things first, make sure to hit that like button. Make sure to subscribe to the channel. If you have any comments, drop them below. Do you agree? Disagree? What are your picks this weekend? Leave it in the comment section. I will respond to every single comment. If you want to sign up for one of our member teams, check out the pinned comment below. Click on that link. You can sign up there. I would appreciate it. We go over every game every weekend for all of our college football matchups, so make sure to like and subscribe. Let's not waste any more time. Let's start running through these matchups. Week 3 is going to kick off on Friday, September 12th. We have 6:30 p.m. on the Big Ten Network. 2-0 Indiana State versus number 22, Indiana, 2-0. Curt Cignetti's team, all the guy does is win. Indiana State, FCS team, so we have no spreads yet. Indiana has a 99% chance. You have Mendoza getting a lot more comfortable in this system. They're averaging 41.5 points a game, giving up 11.5 with Hemby. With Mendoza, look for them to continue to roll here as they get set up for Big Ten play. I have Indiana winning this one. It's not going to be close at any point. They pull off the dub, 52-10. Then moving on to our Saturday game, Saturday, September 13th at 12 p.m. on Fox. Number 4, the Oregon Ducks, 2-0. How about Dante Moore? He is slinging it up and down the field. This looks like he might be the best quarterback they've had maybe since Marcus Mariota back in the day. He is having a great season, winning and having a great season. Props to Dan Lanning, a top 5 overall roster. They have a 94.7% chance to win versus 1-1 Northwestern. This is not Pat Fitzgerald's team. Right now, the Ducks, 27.5-point favorites, a 50.5 over-under. Oregon's averaging 64 points a game, throwing for 286, running for 183. So balanced, only giving up 8. You're getting ready for Big Ten play coming up. You have Penn State just around the corner. Get the starters out as quickly as possible. Keep everyone healthy. You win it. We know you always need some style points. That is the way college football works, but get them out by halftime. I have the Ducks winning this one comfortably, 37-10. And how about an ACC versus ACC matchup next? 12 p.m. on ESPN. Number 12, Clemson, 1-1. Not a good showing versus Troy. Not a good showing versus LSU. Where's this offense? Third year under Garrett Riley. Klubnik back for his third or fourth season as a starter at Clemson. Talented wide receiver core. They have no true running back. The running back is a converted wide receiver. That's not going to cut it. They have a great defense. They have Allen there as a defense coordinator. They have Dabo. They have Garrett Riley. Right now, Clemson, 44.1% chance to win this one. Georgia Tech, 55.9. Do not underestimate 2-0. Georgia Tech are at home in Atlanta. Clemson, 4-point favorites, 52.5 over under. Clemson's offense is not existent so far this season. Started out last season really slow. Then they got hot, but they look atrocious so far this year. Georgia Tech, they can run the ball. If they can run the ball successfully, they play time of possession, keep the ball away from Clemson's hands. If they have Haynes King fully healthy, with Haynes at running back, they can run up and down on Clemson. But for some reason, I'm going to go with Clemson holding on to this game. 27-23, they win it. Keep your eye on it, though. Georgia Tech may very well pull off the upset. And on ESPN2 at 12 p.m., number 13, the Oklahoma Sooners 2-0, coming off that win versus Michigan on the road for some reason, versus 2-0 Temple. Right now, Oklahoma, 84.5% chance to win, 24.5-point favorites, 51.5 over under. John Mateer might be the front runner right now for the Heisman. He has Arbuckle coming over from Washington State here. You have the Brent Venables defense. They are physical. They are disciplined. They're averaging 29.5, throwing for 330 to run, running for 120, only giving up 8. They're going to dominate Temple. They're going to beat them into submission. But SEC play is coming up next week. Oklahoma, no reason to leave these guys in there too long. You're already number 12. You might be top 10 by next week. Oklahoma wins this one, 36-17. And on ABC at 12 p.m., 2-0, the Wisconsin Badgers on the road versus number 19, Alabama, 1-1. After getting curb stomped by Florida State week 1, they came out, they put up over 70 last week. They did what you needed them to do. Come out, rebound, perform as good as you can. And that was without Ryan Williams. Ty Simpson, extremely efficient last week. If they can get the running game going, Grubbs here with DeBoer. They want to vertically push the ball down the field. Line up and run it, though. Set up the run game, the power run. That's going to lead to the play action, going to lead to those deep passes. Bama, 88.9% chance to win. This is SEC versus Big Ten. A lot on the line here. They cannot afford to lose to Wisconsin. Fickell's team, they're not bad. They're not good, though. They're definitely not good enough to beat a top 3 overall roster in college football. Bama, 20.5-point favorites, 46.5 over under. They're averaging 45. They're giving up 15.5. They're going to dominate this game. I see a redo of last year's game. Bama wins it 38-14. And on the Big Ten Network at 12 p.m., 1-1 Central Michigan versus number 23, Michigan, 1-1. Michigan, you can't lose this game. Some people had you out of the top 25. You were able to hold on here. You're not going to have Sharon Moore this game. I don't think you're going to need a Michigan. 95.5% chance to win. 27.5-point favorites, 42.5 over under. The big thing that stands out about to me, Underwood, second true start on the road. He put up some good numbers versus Sooners. That was a rough game for him as a true freshman, second start in the SEC. He's going to get better every single week. You needed that game so he can use it as a foundational building block going forward. But Central Michigan's secondary is complete garbage. They're giving up 324 yards a game. Michigan is going to have a field day running the ball, throwing the ball. I have them winning this one handily, 42-10. And on the SEC Network at 12:45 p.m., 1-1 USA, not that USA, it's South Alabama. First, welcome to the top 25, number 24 Auburn Tigers 2-0. Props to Hugh Freeze's team. Props to Jackson Arnold. He has really been running up and down the field since he transferred over from Oklahoma. He's hit the ground running in Hugh Freeze's offense. Auburn, 93.4% chance to win this game. 24.5-point favorites. 53.5 over under. Auburn, 40 points a game, giving up 13.5. They're running for 265.5 yards per game. They're going to dominate this game. They are very talented. They have the run game, a top 10 overall wide receiver core. They have a top 20 defense from last year. The Tigers win this one easily, 38-17. And at 3:30 p.m. on Fox, 0-2 Oregon State. Oregon State has no home right now. They have been completely purged by the transfer portal. They have a transfer portal quarterback there themselves. They're playing number 21, Texas Tech, 2-0. Texas Tech, number one transfer portal team coming in. They may be the front runner for the Big 12 potentially, although Utah might have something to say about that. Texas Tech, great offense, 93.6% chance to win this one. 23.5-point favorites, 60.5 over under. Texas has scored over 60 points in every game they played. This is their first true opponent, though, that is at least maybe somewhat closer to where they are. Oregon State, 21 points a game. Texas Tech, 64.5. Throwing for 342.5, running for 262, averaging almost 650 yards of offense, only giving up 10.5. Their offense continues to roll, but they're not going to put up 70 here. They win at 38-23. Comfortable win still. Fox Sports 1, 3:30 p.m., 1-0 Villanova, not the basketball team, the actual football team, although the score might be the same if it was the basketball team, playing number 2, Penn State 2-0. Penn State, number 2 in the country, 99% chance to win this. They're averaging 40 a game, giving up 5.5. You know they're going to have a top 5, top 10 defense overall. Where is the offense, though? This team is laden with veterans, juniors, seniors. Aller, Allen, Singleton, Knowles is the defense coordinator. This team is talented. You got to get that offense going. The run game, which is their bread and butter, has not been fully going this season. They're going to get it on track. I just want to see get it going now before Big Ten play starts. Penn State wins this one, 41-10. They run all over the place. ABC, 3:30 p.m., the game day game, the game of the weekend. The 2-0 number 6 Georgia Bulldogs versus number 15 Tennessee Volunteers, also 2-0. This game is in Knoxville, Tennessee. If Tennessee pulls off the upset, the goalposts are coming down. They're going in the river. Tennessee, 51.5% chance to win. Georgia, 48.5. This is a 50-50 pick'em game. Flip a coin. That's the outcome. Georgia, 3.5-point favorites, 50 over under here. Georgia, Mike Bobo, you got to get that running game on track. Same thing as Penn State. Very talented team here. I want to see you run the ball, get physical, get downhill. You have the running game. You have Stockton, a mobile quarterback. Tennessee, Joey Aguilar, been on this team about 3 days. He is slinging the ball up and down the field, running the ball. This offense is much better than what people thought. I said you would not miss Miko. You've definitely not missed Nico. Right now, Tennessee, 58.5 points a game, giving up 21.5. They do have a questionable defense. Had a top 10 defense last season, and at least you have Josh Heupel here, one of the best offensive minds in college football. But on the other side, you have Kirby Smart. Anything can happen in this game. I think it's going to be crazy. It's going to be a very close game. I have Tennessee winning this one 30-27. It goes down to the end. They pull off the upset, guys. This is a 50-50 matchup. Keep your eye on this. Bulldogs can win it. Thing here is both teams have some questions. Both teams have some answers. And at 4 p.m. on ESPN2, number 14 Iowa State, 3-0 because they played in week 0 versus 1-1 Arkansas State. Iowa State, this is a Matt Campbell team. Rocco Beck, third year as a starter at Ohio State. A lot of experience on this team. They are disciplined. They can run it. They can throw it. They play good line of scrimmage football. 89.4% chance to win. The Cyclone, 21-point favorites, 55.5 over under. They're averaging 31.7 points a game, throwing for 207, running for 152, only giving up 13.7. This game is in no way going to be close at any point. They win it 42-17. 4 p.m. on ESPN Plus, 1-1, the Raging Cajuns versus number 25. Welcome to Top 25, 2-0. Missouri coming off that very dominating win versus Kansas. Drinkwitz gets the most out of the talent on his team, adapts his play style to who he has on his roster. I gotta love it. 94.9% chance to win. 27.5-point favorites, 48.5 over under. Mizzou, this offense, it is flying high this season. 51.5 points a game, throwing for 338, running for 240, giving up 18.5. Obviously, the schedule will get tougher once they get into SEC play, but they're not in SEC play. They win this one 34-10. 4:15 p.m. on the SEC Network, 1-1 UTEP versus 1-1 number 7 Texas Longhorns. They lost week 1 to Ohio State. They won last week. You got to continue to get Arch Manning more comfortable. This is third year in this system. We need to see him look better. But it is what it is. There's a massive talent gap here. Texas, top 5 overall roster. They have a top 10 defense. Might be a top 5 defense. There's playmakers everywhere. If Arch Manning can get back to being healthy, he was grimacing on some throws. They're going to dominate this game. 99% chance to win. Texas, 41.5 point favorites. 51.5 over under. That is a massive spread here. There's no reason to have the starters in there that long. SEC play is coming up. These teams playing on a conference with conference play just around the corner. Don't flirt with anyone getting hurt. Texas wins 42-13. 4:30 p.m. on the CW, 2-0 number 18 USF versus number 5 Miami, 2-0. A battle for the state of Florida. USF, 2 top 25 wins. They beat Boise week 1. They beat UF in Gainesville last week. Miami, 72.3% chance to win, 17-point favorites, 54.5 over under. USF, they better not sneak up on Miami. Might have caught them off guard, but they've beaten 2 top 25 teams, so Miami should be taking them serious, should be prepared. If they sneak up on Miami, that would be a direct exclamation point on Mario Cristobal. He cannot let that happen. Miami here, a lot of people saying USF, they're going to cover the spread. They might surprise Miami. I don't see that happening. I think Miami brings their A game. They curb stomp the Bulls second half, leaning on them with that physical run game. Miami wins this one 43-23. Carson Beck being the experienced veteran, the offensive line, the defensive line, that's what makes the difference here. 7 p.m. on Peacock, 1-1 the Ohio Bobcats versus number 1, the defending national champs, 2-0 Ohio State Buckeyes, 95.4% chance to win. Buckeyes are 32.5 point favorites, a 53.5 over-under. What about saying last week he was slinging it up and down the field? They were running the ball. They have the best defense in the nation. They're only giving up 3.5 points a game. How is that even realistic? They're averaging 42 points a game. They can throw it. They can run it. There's talent everywhere. You have Hartline, Ryan Day, Matt Patricia from the NFL. Buckeyes win this one 40-13. 7 p.m. on Fox Sports, 1-0-2 Wyoming versus number 9, the Fighting Illini, 2-0 Brett Bielema's team, 95.9% chance to win, 27.5 point favorites, 50.5 over under. The Fighting Illini, some people are saying they are this year's version of Indiana from last year. Physical team. Luke Altmaier, year 3 with the program as a starter. They can run, they can throw, they are disciplined. Brett Bielema, he loves to play trench warfare, old school 1980s football. They dominated. This is a true Big Ten blue blood type program. They want to play old school Big Ten football. Western Michigan, they're not going to be able to compete here. Illinois wins this one 38-6. This next matchup, I'm not going to lie, kind of scares the hell out of me. 7 p.m. on ESPN, 2-0 Arkansas Razorbacks versus number 17 Ole Miss, 2-0. Right now, Ole Miss, 73.7% chance to win this game. Rebels, 8.5 point favorites, 62.5 over under. Do not underestimate Sam Pittman. You have Robbie Petrino as the offense coordinator. They're averaging 54 points a game, throwing for 334, running for 258, giving up 10.5. They have Greenback at quarterback. This team, they usually win 6 or 7 games per season, but they're always, all of their losses are one-possession losses. They play everyone competitive. If you don't have your A game, they're going to beat you. Ole Miss, though, this is Lane Kiffin. You know they're going to score points. Austin Simmons has looked great so far this season. A lot of turnovers, though. Young quarterback, it is to be expected. They're averaging 46.5, giving up 15, coming off of a physical, very close win versus Kentucky. I think Arkansas might catch them off guard here, catch them sleeping coming off that win. They win it 34-33. This is a game. I don't want to go anywhere near it. Flip a coin. That's the outcome here. Very tough, very competitive SEC matchup. And a great rivalry game coming up next, 7:30 p.m. on ABC. This could have been a top 10 versus top 10 game, but Florida crapped the bed last week. 1-1 Florida, now unranked versus number 3 LSU, 2-0. LSU, they had a dominating week 1 win versus Clemson. That win doesn't look as good right now. Not the best performance last week. Some people are saying they might be overrated, but either way, very talented team, top 10 overall roster, but Florida, do not underestimate the talent on the team. Very talented roster. Whenever Billy Napier's pants are on fire from the hot seat, the players always rally around him. That's when you get Florida's best performance here. Don't sleep on Florida. With Billy Napier potentially getting on the verge of getting fired, they are going to bring it this week in Death Valley. Right now, LSU 61.6% chance to win, 9.5 point favorites, 49.5 over under. I think you get a true Florida team. DJ Lagway plays great. They run the ball. They play physical. Nussmeier pushing the ball down the field, throws a beautiful pass. Blake Baker, year 2 in this system. This defense is a lot better. This game is going to be very close to me. I think the Tigers win it in the end. They win it 28-24, but Florida puts up a very nice fight. And we get round two from last year's 7:30 p.m. on NBC. This is going to be a fun one. This is SEC versus the always independent Notre Dame. The Texas A&M Aggies, number 16, 2-0 versus number 8 Notre Dame 0-1. They were off week 2. How the heck do you get a week 2 bye week? No one wants that. But anyways, their last game was Miami. Actually, a very close loss. Very impressed with CJ Carr. He was running the ball, throwing the ball. Pierce, Love, good run game, great secondary, great lines, the offensive line, defensive line. They kept that game very close on the road versus a top 10 team. Notre Dame, 71.2% chance to win, 7-point favorites, 49.5 over-under. The Aggies, though, Mike Elko, they're going to be physical. They're going to be disciplined. They're going to run the ball. They're going to have 8 to 10-minute possessions. But that's the same type of offense that Notre Dame also runs. They're going to be physical. They're going to suck up clock. I think it's a very close, low-scoring game. The Irish win it in the end, 24-17. Second to last game, some people have this as an upset alert game. SEC Network, 7:45 p.m., 2-0 Vanderbilt versus number 11 South Carolina, 2-0. Shane Beamer's team came out of nowhere last season, almost made the playoffs, snuck up on everyone. They're not sneaking up on anyone this season. Everyone's taking them very serious. They are bringing their A game to play them, and you need to see a little more from Sellers. He has to be a little more accurate passing the ball. South Carolina, 65.1% chance to win, 5.5-point favorites, 47.5 over under. Don't sleep on Vandy. If you do, they're going to do you like they did Bama last season. They're going to upset you. Pavia's back for his 18th year practically of college football. The guy's 45 years old at this point. They're averaging 44 points a game. The Gamecocks 31, giving up 10.5. But I think South Carolina at home will have just enough firepower and physicality to win this game. But it's going to be close. But they pull off the win 28-24. And our final top 25 game, 8 p.m. CBS. Number 20, welcome to the top 25, 2-0 Utah Utes. Kyle Whittingham, very underappreciated coach, one of the longest tenured coaches in the country. He brings the defense. They're physical. They're tough, a top 10, top 20 defense every single season. And now they actually have an offense. And they have a healthy quarterback for once. Dampier, this guy's going to inject himself into the Heisman race, having a great season. 92.8% chance to win. Utes, 23.5-point favorites, 48 over-under. Utah is averaging 53 points a game, throwing for 226, running for 280. How the heck did that happen? I don't know, but I love it, and they're only giving up 9.5. The quarterback, the run game, the physicality, they might win the Big 12. I have Utah winning this game. They win it 38-14. Guys, that's our quick picks for all of our top 25 games. We tried to run through that as quickly as possible for you guys that are on a time crunch. If you want a more in-depth breakdown, check out my video that came out 2 days ago. That's where we slowly go over every single game. But make sure to hit that like button. Make sure to subscribe. If you have any comments, drop them below. Do you agree? Disagree? What are your thoughts on these games? Let me know what your picks are. And if you want to sign up for our member team, look at the pinned comment below. Click on that link. You can sign up there. I would appreciate it. And of course, as always, thank you for watching.